This used to be our lounge room, and now it's become a shrine for Halo and Gears of War.
Gears of War.
We're in a modern room, let's check out modern hardware. 3 flat screen TVs, 2 LCDs, and a 65-inch OLED. Absolutely love this TV. This is where I spend my Friday nights with my family. My wife, my son Luke, we have an absolute ball.
Damn, this video came out like 7
everything from
years
Xbox
ago.
360 right up to PS4 Pro.
It was like before LED lights came out and stuff like that. And the Switch was new. Ugh. 2017.
Well, in this corner I have my vinyl soundtracks and some laser discs to go with that. I'm a massive Gradius fan, and who doesn't love Street Fighter?
2.
I love collecting video game soundtracks. I've got hundreds on CD, and now my obsession has become vinyl. The other thing I have an obsession with is game guides.
World records, huh?
While we're speaking of books, my magazine collection. I have been collecting magazines for over 30 years, beginning with C+VG. These days I collect the new magazine, Retro
Time is a
Gamer,
wild thing, bro.
a modern magazine about retro games.
Rolled into record, the
I'm
whole
also
thing is
very
like
proud to have a full
2017,
set of
18,
Amiga
19.
format. However, what I'm most proud of is my Zap 64 collection. Every one of these magazines I bought when I was a boy. That concludes this room and brings us on to the next room, the computer room.
Man, that's crazy, dude.
Okay,
I used to play a bunch
now
of
we're
video
over
games on
at
the computer, on the
Japanese
PC, the
computers.
pinball. And
These are so close to my heart because I grew up with these things and no one else had them. X68000, a monster of a computer. Did you know they used this computer to program Capcom games back in the early 90s? This is one of the most popular Japanese computers of all time, the MSX. This one's a Sony variation, the MSX2. And one of the kings of the Japanese computers, the FM Towns, made by Fujitsu. One of the first CD-ROM computers ever. Now, like all good computer rooms, you need a plan. This is Chuck, for all you LucasArts fans out there. Now we'll move on to the Western computers, and this is the Amstrad CPC 464. This is the actual one
Who's
from my
Chuck?
younger years. Then we move over to the ZX Spectrum. I actually never had one of these computers growing
I
up,
know Lucas.
and boy, do I love it.
I don't know who's Chuck.
Now we move over to my first love, the Commodore 64. I fell in love with this computer the moment I saw it. I have every single version of the Commodore 64 for my second love, the Commodore Amiga
Halo's firing for
500.
sure.
Now, back in the day, I was a huge cracker and hacker on the Amiga 500.
You said what?
Let's
now?
move on to the library itself. Up here, we're going to start with my Spectrum.
Bro,
game.
honestly,
My
I
favorite game on
love
Spectrum
like
would have to
keyboards,
be
dude.
Jetpack.
Like
This
like
is
no
my
cap.
Commodore
Like
64
I'm
library.
so good at
There's
typing.
thousands.
Like I'm cracked
Not
on
only
that.
is
That's
this
the only
library
thing I'm
functional,
cracked on.
But it's actually a replica of a computer shop where I once worked. At the back, there are more Spectrum games, and behind me, PC games. Boy, have I learned to appreciate PC games over the
I
last
should probably
5
like
years.
stream
What
myself
was I
playing a
missing in
keyboard
the
game.
90s?
Okay.
Yep, that's right.
Probably after
I
this
never
video.
grew up with PC games. When I was growing up, I actually never owned an original Amiga game, but I'm making up for it now. I've currently got 600.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's your guys' favorite PC game?
All right, enough of this room. Let's head to the big library. Before we head into the library, I want to show you the hallway. We've got the arcade room, the retro room, and the library. So this is a connecting hub, and I have my retro collectibles here. I have so many treasured memories and priceless collectibles. One of my most treasured collectibles is this Yamaha DX7 keyboard. That was actually given to me by Sega.
Shout out Sega.
Down this end of the corridor, we've got some PlayStation collectibles, including the 500 millionth limited edition. One of my absolute favourites would be the Metal Gear Solid 5 console. For more information on collectibles and anything retro, you have to check out Ion Retro.
Dude, I can't believe I sold my GameCube, I sold my Vita, I sold my PSP, I sold PS3, my homie gave me.
I would be here for weeks if I had to talk about everything in this library. So we'll just do major sections. This is a Sega section, and yes, I do say Sega like that. That's just how Australians say Sega. So we're going to start off with my prize collection, the full library of Japanese Mega Drive games. And yes, the incredibly rare Tetris. There is heaps to talk about in this section. And being one of my favourite
Wait, which Tetris? Because I'm all about Tetris.
Master
Is it
System,
the
Mark III, SG-1000, Game Gear, Dreamcast, and my full set of Saturn games.
It didn't come out on the NES first.
I will
It came
say
out
there's
on
not a lot of things put up yet, and I've made the room future-proof so I don't run out of space.
Just had it.
That's happened a lot. This room's actually changed 7 or 8 times. We
It's
have
a black
two
cartridge for
juggernauts
sure.
Here, the X68000 and the Neo Geo. The X68000 should be in the computer room, but I had to have them next to each other because they're so similar. Down this aisle I have vintage consoles such as the Intellivision, ColecoVision. They need heaps of work. I've only just begun collecting for those guys. And the Atari 2600. Most of those games are from the late 70s, early 80s. This is my Amiibo collection, and this stuff can get so addictive. This aisle has the GameCube, Wii, and Wii U.
It's all good, bro. You don't have to donate.
We're now moving to the back of the room, and the whole back of this room is Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and my beloved NES full set. My Famicom collection needs a lot of work, and it's probably my most played Nintendo console. Ending with Nintendo, we have the incredible Nintendo 64. An amazing console that comes in so many colors, and yes, I own an Ultra 64.
There's so many games.
Now with all these
It was
games,
like we could
fairly
fit all of
obvious
that like on an
game
SD card though.
And one on the agenda, James Bond. I've actually got a prototype
Hey,
version of
$5?
GoldenEye. My
Or
PlayStation
500
4
pennies.
collection. Although not the biggest, because new games are so long, I like to finish the game before I buy another one. Otherwise, I just wouldn't finish games. Second to Nintendo, PlayStation would have the biggest footprint in this room. PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2 American. On the far wall, Japanese PS2.
American.
An exhausting 20 years to get a full set of PS1 Japanese games. And I've just started on PS1 US games. Finally, we get to the Xbox.
Has he played like every
Xbox
game
original
though?
Japanese, full set of Xbox games, and Xbox 360, one of my favorite all-time consoles.
The Xbox Connect was fun. I'm not gonna lie.
As I
Ooh,
said, it's impossible
the
to
premium
go
edition,
through all
the crystal
collectibles
clear
and rarities
Xbox one, the
and all
OG one, that
video
one was so
games in this
fire.
library. With only
I
many
gotta get that
complete
one.
sets, you have to check out Game Set
But
Complete,
like after
where we
like
take an
looking up
in-depth
like
look at all the
information
games
about the
on a particular
Xbox, like
console and the hidden gems. We
like
are
the battery
moving
could
over
just like
to the
kind of
Famicom box and the Super Famicom box. Two
Famicom.
jewels in
Nah, but
my collection.
the console
These
could like
Japanese systems are quite rare, and we will have a look at
Detorti-
those on Iron Retro. Well, this is
what is
over
it called?
10 meters of retro.
It's like where the
consoles,
battery
all
just juices out
CRTs.
in the back.
This is my mother's first color television set. It's a 1979 Rank Arena.
My bad,
It's
chat.
not working at the moment. We are doing a story about this on story mode. One other segment on Last Gamer. you must check
Mayonnaise?
out. This
Yeah,
TV
bro.
will be running
Mayonnaise is an
ColecoVision,
instrument. If
Atari,
you put it on
Intellivision,
corn,
and all those pre-1982
for hot Cheetos.
consoles. Also, slightly out of chronological order, we have a Bang & Olufsen TV running a Jaguar, a 3DO, and a Fujitsu Marty. Here we have all the Sega consoles on this beautiful Blancbook TV. Now, as you can probably see, this is running RGB SCART. That's why we've got a clear, crisp picture. And you've just got to think these exclusive Sega speakers, you'll see them on What's in the Box Japan. Now we move over to the Nintendo section, and this has all the major Nintendo consoles: NES Top Loader, Twin Famicom, Super Nintendo NTSC, Super Famicom Japanese, N64, and the N64 DD drive. Even though there's only a few games on it, I do actually love F-Zero X on the DD. The other two consoles that are here are
Piano
a PC Engine Duo and a Super Graphics. All the controllers
You haven't seen the cover?
kept in drawers underneath. All right, so now on this beautiful Sony PVM monitor, we are running a PlayStation 1. Underneath that is a Pioneer Laser Active. After PlayStation 1, we now move over to PlayStation 2. Again, another beautiful Sony PVM monitor. This one's slightly bigger. This is a 29-inch. This currently runs a PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox. And the final CRT in this lineup is the Sony Wager.
That's crazy. You got the actual CRT TVs.
Output component. GameCube,
I got one too.
Xbox 360, and Wii.
I've had this one
Now,
since
for
like
me,
my
the
whole
next step
life, bro.
after
This
CRT,
TV is
well, it
literally
was
like my
plasma.
childhood. I
And
used to
I
play
love my
Sonic
Pioneer
the
plasma.
Heroes
This is a
on this one.
508 LX
20 odd.
1080p screen, and it is probably one of my favorite
Everything.
screens in the whole house. This houses last
I think I
generation
played
and
Xbox
this
on this
generation.
too, but not really too much.
The final
I think
thing
we
to
got a
show you in
different
this
TV
room
by then,
is
but
my simulators.
this was a
love
TV, the
these
CRT
simulators.
TV.
Force feedback steering wheel,
Can't show you guys
Forza
right now,
3
but-
Horizon linked up, 4 players, fun for the whole family. That concludes the retro room, and now for the final room, a replica of my childhood arcade. Welcome to Flashback.
Before home entertainment systems. You pop out to the arcade, huh? That's where Grandpa would be. You know what? I think I might just do some online dating and then
this
just
is
take them
my
out to the
lifelong dream
arcade.
To have my own childhood arcade flashback, and I absolutely love it. It turned out much better than I first thought. All up, there's
Because it'd be
about
strange,
97
like, you
machines
go to
in
the
this
arcade and
room.
you try, like, talking
so
to some
start
chick.
off with one of my favorite games. Well, I'm going to say that a lot.
Like, it just doesn't work those ways
in
no
this
more.
arcade room, and that's 720. And that's kind of why it's first when you walk in, because at Flashback, 720 was kind of front and center. This is going to be Gauntlet and Gauntlet 2. This is currently
but
not
honestly,
working.
online
There
dating,
are
I
a
don't
few in the room that are not working, and that's the fun of it all. And that's what you've got to tune into Insert Coin, where we
could be some,
pull
like,
apart machines and rebuild them
dude
from
from
scratch
named
and
Chuck
make them museum
Lives
perfect.
in the basement.
So here's another one, a classic Atari 1983 Star Wars cockpit. Needs heaps of work, and I can't wait to get into that. Space Invaders, the first video game I ever played was in the arcade. Pac-Man, well, I love Miss Pac-Man, and that is actually my favorite of the Pac-Man series. Rolling Thunder, Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja, APB.
Well, yeah, because the
Cybot,
Pac-Man,
Operation Wolf.
it's just the same old
These
map.
kind of games were the games
Mrs.
I grew up
Pac-Man,
on in the
she got
arcade,
different maps.
And that's why they're all on this top floor. Another classic is
It
Robust.
just feels like you're
This is a
continuing going
sit-down
on
version,
your
and
journey.
Again, it just oozes 1980s, and this is
And
what
with
I was playing
Pac-Man,
at that
you
time.
could go to
We head
256,
back over
right?
to the middle to Super Sprint, which is on the back of 720 and Marble Madness. We head over here to two of the greats from Konami in the early 90s, and that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Simpsons. And another classic is Dragon's Lair. I've had this for decades, Mortal Kombat. How can you not have a Mortal Kombat if you've got so many arcades? Moving over to the final two is Xenophobe and Spy Hunter. I've grouped these together because NBA Jam, Mortal Kombat, Xenophobe, and Spy Hunter.
Oh,
are
that's
all
cool with
going
the
great.
eyes.
We're going to
Now that was
around
creative.
the outside the room first, and this is my Neo Geo cabinet. I've had this for like 20 years. I absolutely love this cabinet. This is my Capcom upright section, and we have Ghosts and Goblins, 1943, Bionic Commando,
Man,
Black
back in the
Tiger,
day,
Forgotten Worlds, Ghouls and Ghosts.
Well,
and
I was thinking like, man, I wish I was there when this first came out, but at the same time, like, nah, because in 2026 we're living in a time where GTA 6 hasn't even came out, Switch 2 just came out.
I didn't want to make the room so big that I'm just filling it up for the
You can
sake of it.
homebrew,
So
you can
just
mod a
games
lot
I
of freaking
really love.
games from back in the day
Cannot have
now
an
to
arcade room
now.
without an air hockey table. Had hours and
Saving
hours
yourself
of
a lot of
enjoyment
money from
with
buying
the
video
family,
games
my
now
son,
physically,
and my
even though the
wife play
physical
it
ones are a lot more
I'm more
better,
of a fan
you know,
of
because
80s and
physically
90s
yours
arcade,
here.
but when they released Outrun 2, it quickly
But if you
went
got
to
all
my
the
top
tech and
10 at
stuff, it's
least.
like
I just love this game.
you're
To
literally
have
playing the
four
same
of them
thing,
linked
saving
up,
yourself money.
hours of fun. And Daytona 2, these are linked up. These are full deluxe ones that actually
Excuse
move
me.
left and right, and the wheel almost rips your arm off. It's that strong. Another favourite of my son's is
I love the
House
Need for
of the
Speed
Dead
arcade
2
one.
and Laser Ghost. Quite the rare game, this one. It's a 3-player gun game and very ahead of its time for back in the day. Now, as you can tell, there's a lot of Sega arcade machines in this room, and this is where all the stand-up stuff is. So these are two net cities. Ikaruga, one of my favourite shooters. Spider-Man, Crazy Taxi, Virtual Fighter 2, probably the best Virtual Fighter release. A lot of people ask why don't I just buy a main machine, but I prefer to have the real thing, what I grew up with back in the 80s and 90s. So now we're going to start in the centre, and this is it, my pride and joy, probably my favourite arcade in the room, Space Harrier. This is Enduro Racer, a lot of work needed on the bike, and I just can't wait to get my teeth into restoring this. Outrun, full moving deluxe with a 25-inch screen, Afterburner, another deluxe
I think I
machine
remember
by
that
Sega,
game.
Power
No.
Drift. I mean, these are the staples of Sega
It was a
in my
different thing.
opinion.
That was kind of
And
like
Darius
Palm
Burst
Trees.
would have to be one of my favourite shooters. You know, there's over 3,000 levels, and I connected it to Tato recently to get a new patch.
3,000.
Rare. You want to talk rare? This is Ferrari 355 Challenge 2. There was only 42 made in the world of this particular version, the yellow version. On the back of this is a game that has never been ported to console, another crime.
Yeah, because
and
they always
that
make
is
red,
Scud
blue, black.
Race. Next to Scud Race is Ferrari 355 Challenge. This is part 1 as opposed to the yellow one. And this is Virtual Racing Deluxe. An air compressor, airbag seats. It makes you feel like you're actually driving a Formula 1 car. Coming to the end of Sega, we have Thunderblade, Turbo Outrun, and Super Hang-On. 3 small machines from Sega, but amazing games. And finally, a machine I have been looking for over 20 years, Quartet. That concludes the tour, and I hope you've enjoyed it. But this is only just the beginning.
No way,
Tune in
bro.
each Tuesday for Last Gamer Show, and each Friday for a special episode like Ion Retro,
those Wii
Insert
remotes?
Point, and many more. Until next time, bye for now.
Well,
Black Tiger. These are linked up. These are full deluxe ones.
this is
that
pretty
actually
crazy.
move left and right, and the wheel
Game
almost
room,
rips
world's
your arm
greatest
off. It's
game
that
room.
strong. Another favourite of my son's is House of the Dead 2 and Laser
This dude
Ghost.
could literally
Quite the
make a
rare
bunch of
game,
millions,
this
like
one.
have it just like people
It's
come
a
through, but
3-player
it would
gun
mess up
game
a
and
lot of
very ahead
freaking
its
things.
time
Because
from back
you know,
in the
there's some
day.
people who wouldn't
Now,
take
as
care
you
of
can tell,
it, they
there's a
just
lot of
abuse
Sega
it,
arcade machines in this room,
break
and
it on
this is where all the
purpose.
stand-up stuff is. So these are two net cities. Ikaruga, one of my favourite shooters.
But all these things are
Crazy
physical things.
Taxi,
You could like remake
Virtual
it.
Fighter 2, probably the best Virtual Fighter
Make it
release.
better.
A lot of people
Graphics
ask
are
why don't I
crazy.
just buy a
Graphics
main
are
machine,
old.
but I prefer to have the real thing, what I grew up with back in the
Feels-
80s and 90s. So now we're going to start in the
Feels
centre, and
old,
this
doesn't
is
feel
it,
new.
my pride and joy, probably my favourite arcade in the room.
I mean, well, that's the
Space
whole
Harrier.
point. Yeah, I
This
get
is
it. You
Enduro
know?
Racer, a lot of work needed on the bike, and I just can't wait to get my teeth into restoring this. Outrun, full moving deluxe with a 25.
I mean, they're
screen.
adapting the new ones like with
Afterburner,
VR, so
another
I
deluxe
guess
machine by Sega, Power Drift.
they're still
these
trying
are the
to
staples of
fit
Sega, in my
everything
opinion.
new
And Darius
into
Burst would have to be
old,
one of my favourite shooters. You know, there's over
updated
3,000
old.
levels, and I connected it to Tato recently to get a new patch. Rare. You want to talk rare? This is
overall, though, it's gonna be
355 Challenge 2.
it's gonna be
There's only
always
42
like
made in the
heartwarming
world
to have
of
one
this
of these.
particular version, the yellow version. On the back of this
you know,
is a game that
and
has
you see
never
in
been
your town
ported
or
to
someone